All right, as we all start a new year, I think a lot of us parents want to make an effort to be the best parent we can be this year, right? Well, what if you have a child that is just outright defiant? In today's parenting guide, our resident psychologist Amy Trout is here to help. Good morning.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, you too.
This is so true. I think we start out the new year, we want to spend, more time with family, really kind of be the best parent we can be. But sometimes we're just presented with situations and certain chemistry within the family that it makes it pretty difficult to do that. One of those being a defiant children or a child.
Yeah.
How do you know if your child is maybe more of the extreme of being a defiant child?
Well, you'll know. If you have more than one kiddo in your house, or if you've ever been around other kiddos and you kind of compare, the kid that, gives you a hard time pretty much at any request,
Simple as
things.
brushing teeth.
Let's brush your teeth, let's put on shoes, what do you want for breakfast, let's eat. Everything is kind of a no or a power struggle.
Starting at a young age? Is this something that's kind of in these children very young?
Yeah, really like self-thinkers from a very young age. Kids that are listening to sort of their own way of doing things, have their own ideas, and they can make parents really kind of feel like we're losing our minds. Old school parenting doesn't work, power struggles don't work, and so we end up sort of wringing our hands going, what are we doing? We're creating a monster.
Yeah.
But we're really not. Like, these kids have a real gift.
Well, and I was asking you too, I've heard this concept of this strong-willed child, and I have kind of read some things that, hey, there is kind of a blessing in this if this is, are you seeing, some of these traits? So you have some things, let's get to this, on how to deal with this defiant child.
Yeah.
So number one, you say stay positive.
Right. So research shows that these kiddos actually tend to do very well comparatively to like the counterparts that are more compliant. I'm not saying like not to be compliant kids, but as parents, when we're looking at, our fears for our kiddos are that they're going to end up like, choosing the wrong path and really having problems in life. They typically overachieve academically and over-earn. Not that that's our main goal for parenting our kids, but they're high achievers because they're listening to a different internal wisdom that maybe other kiddos who are more compliant socially aren't quite listening to. So these are the groundbreakers, Martin Luther King Jr.'s, the Mother Teresas. These are the
Jobs.
people, absolutely, that really kind of take an idea. They have the tenacity and the persistence to really stick with something that looks really outside of the box. So there's that potential in these kiddos that are really, really kind of...
So parents, if you're watching this morning, remember that. There is a blessing on the other end of this. You say listen.
Yeah, really work hard to get to know that kiddo. They think differently than most of us think. So if I wasn't a strong-willed child, and I have a strong-willed child, it can be very hard for me to understand where they're coming from. But if I take time to really listen to what they're about, they make a lot of sense. I hate that it makes sense,
right?
But it makes sense. And so they're, well, I don't want to brush my teeth now because I'm going to eat, and then they feel dirty, and, okay, well, how about you just brush them after you eat? What do you think? Okay, there's a solution. Instead of right when they wake up, does it really matter to me? No, I just want to check the mental box that I've asked my kiddo to
Well, and that kind of goes into the next one, which is give choices. And this is, we've talked about a lot about with you about kind of picking your battles.
Right.
Is it kind of going in with that as well?
There are some things that are going to be absolute non-negotiables. You might be running late for a doctor's appointment. It's time to go now. There is no banter over what time you put your shoes on. We get that. But you're going to get a lot less kickback on those times. If your kiddo does feel like they're sort of respected and has the right to make a couple of choices, you don't have to give 15. That's overwhelming. But 2, you can brush your teeth now when you get up or after breakfast. I don't care as long as it gets done. Is it really a life or death thing? No, it's really not. And so that helps the kiddo feel more empowered, more respected, like their voice does matter. And so you get a little less resistance. This is what we're banking on. When there are the times that we got to go now, I'm sorry, it's crazy, put on your shoes, let's get out of the door.
Okay, makes sense. As we close here, the last one, co-create solutions. What do you mean by that?
Well, as you listen to your kiddo and you start to understand what the real struggle is about, it's not really always or necessarily ever about you and defying your authority.
That's not why they're doing it. It can feel like that as a parent.
Right, yeah. But with little ones, it's because they have their own ideas. So try to figure out what the problem is and what the solution could be for them. So what is it about putting on these shoes right now that's feeling bothersome to you? Well, those shoes rub my heel, or whatever the thing is.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, how can we solve it? Should we get rid of these shoes? Do you want to pick a different pair? Do we need socks? What do we need to kind of make this work?
Well, as we close here, I know the take home, what I'm getting from you, it can be a blessing. Just figure out, listen to the kid, figure out what they really need.
As much as we're able to, we really, again, I feel like this is sort of my theme with every kiddo segment, but we really need to try to understand our kids well and work within those parameters as much as we can. There are going to be times, I'm not saying like, you know, everything is kid-centered. It's not. There's going to be times kids have to go along with the program.
Well, thank you for helping us along, Amy. We need it, and we, of course, wish all the parents here in the new year a successful a year of parenting.
Yes.
I know it can be a lot. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks.
We, of course, will put more info on our website as well, fox4morningblend.com.
Time to get into the swing of things. Up next, how you can reserve your spot at the Peace River Wildlife Center's golf tournament before it's too late. Stay with us.